As always, Derek's given us a very nice technical analysis with some unique perspectives, and I love the way he runs the theoretical future. I think that's a very realistic way to do analysis. One scenario he did not touch on that I'd like to throw out there has to do with a more dramatic price pullback. And actually, I think that if we were to see a dramatic price pullback now, it would actually be healthy for the long-term picture for silver. I don't think you can analyze silver accurately without looking at two really important pieces of the puzzle. One is the US dollar, and the other is the political environment in the United States, I think, and in the world, with sovereign debt being an overhanging problem. Sovereign debt and weakness in the dollar, and I mean US sovereign debt and the weakness in the dollar, really kind of combine to be the wild cards that could drive us to the levels that Derek talks about in terms of its potential highs. But the other scenario is to look at silver, and you can see this chart that we're looking at here, to look at silver in its sense that it reacts to both politics and monetary instability. And I think we have to look at the possibility that if the Republicans have what's perceived to be a big victory, and that the public and the markets perceive this victory as being one which will bring back what they consider to be financial responsibility and a turnaround of the way the economy is developing in terms of our accumulating huge amounts of debt and the Fed seemingly free-hand to print money and buy assets. If people perceive that that's going to be changed, then I think you can see the turnaround of the dollar, and even though the underlying fundamentals may not lend themselves towards that scenario, it's an emotional factor. So here we see with silver's path, but let's jump over real quickly to UUP as an indicator of what the dollar could potentially be doing. And I've talked about this in some of my other videos. Notice that at the bottom here we have support. Notice the election is 18 days away. Look at this light line here is the moving average. This can just kind of bottom out in a nice flat rounded bottom, which is of course technically significant, as the technical analysis people know. A nice rounded bottom down here, and start a reverse climb because people start to get confidence that our problems will be solved. And although long term that may not hold, short term that could easily become a bottom. We see a rise back perhaps to this level, or who knows where that level can go to if we do form some kind of bottom. If that happens, I think that's going to turn, again, for the short term, or the relatively short term. I think that's, let's take a quick jump over to the gold chart. Here's gold. Okay, let's go back over to SLV to represent silver. I think that, potentially we can see silver come back to this support line or this support line and not really have a change in the bull market. So that's the scenario I'd actually like to see, because I think it would create a longer term base for good price building in silver, and it also create an opportunity to accumulate more. So just my theory, my commentary. As always, I love Derek's analysis, and thanks for listening.